Hello students, moving towards the last part of human respiratory system, that is a structure of human respiratory system. In the last session we discussed about trachea. Now what happens to the trachea? So when the trachea reaches the lungs, when the trachea reaches near the lungs which are present in your chest cavity, it bifurcates into two parts. You can see there is one bifurcation, this is a second bifurcation. Bifurcation meaning division. It divides into two parts and one tube goes into the left lung, another tube goes into the right lung. So this tube which goes into the lungs is said to be bronchi. Again, these bronchi are also surrounded by this ring-shaped cartilaginous structure, as I discussed in the last session, which will not help the bronchi to collapse. Now this is little bigger in diameter. It cannot go to each and every part of your lungs, right? Hence, it is divided into still smaller tubes. The smaller tubes are said to be bronchioles. So you can say it is further divided. This is further divided. So suppose I draw here, this is my trachea. This is one part which goes into my right lung. This is another part which goes into my left lung. So I give a cartilaginous shape here. The cartilaginous rings. I present it here. And these structures are said to be bronchi because this is a long tube, which is a thick tube which is entering my lungs. I can say this is my lungs. And here this is my lungs. Okay. Now I have to further divide it so that it goes to each and every part of my lungs. So this further division of bronchi, this further divisions of bronchi which go to each and every part of the lungs, or this further small tubes, are said to be bronchioles. Please do remember the names, and they are also surrounded by cartilaginous rings. Now, what will happen at the end? Will this tube remain as it is, or will they be divided into thinner tubes? Yes, once they are divided into the thinnest tube, later on, the thinnest tube which arises from this bronchioles is said to be alveolar duct. Please don't get confused, as in when you see or revise or when you think, you will understand. So longer tube, smaller tubes, bronchiole. The thinnest tube is said to be alveolar duct, and at the end of this alveolar duct, you will have a bag-like structure. A balloon-like structure, you can say. This balloon-like structure is said to be alveolar sac. A bag, alveolar sac. And inside this, you will have such grape-like structures. These grape-like structures are said to be alveoli. So what will happen in your lungs if I want to show you in detail? So you can see here. What happens? There is a trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, and finally you will have a alveolar sac. Inside the alveolar sac, you will have the grape-like structures which are said to be alveoli. So you have millions of alveoli in your lungs, which increases the surface area for exchange of gases. Why are these alveoli present? To increase the surface area for exchange of gases, right? And exactly this is the place where carbon dioxide from the blood is taken into the lungs, and oxygen from the lungs is given to the blood vessels. So alveoli is a site of respiration, or exactly where gaseous exchange takes place. And it is said that gaseous exchange takes place by the process of diffusion. So please remember the sequence. After trachea, you have bronchi. After bronchi, you have bronchioles. And after bronchioles, you have alveolar duct, alveolar sac. I'll just write sac. And then finally, you have alveoli, where the exact exchange of gas takes place, right? It takes place by the process of diffusion. Please remember this important point also. Moving to the last part of our respiratory system, that is lungs. We all know we have two lungs. Anybody with one lung? No. We have two lungs. Hence, we say that it is a pair of structure present in our body. It is elastic, spongy, and air-filled bag. Elastic, it can extend, it can come back. Extend, come back. Hence, it is said to be elastic. Spongy, very soft. And air is filled inside it. Hence, it is air-filled bag. It is a very delicate organ present in our body. We protect all the delicate things we have. So who protects this delicate organ of our body? It is the rib cage. We studied in our lower grades, right? And rib cage, and you have muscles which studied, that is intercostal muscles, which protects your lungs. Okay, so about lungs, what you have to remember, you have two lungs. It is elastic, spongy, air-filled bag. Who protects them? Rib cage and muscles. And one more thing, whenever you draw lungs, you have to draw the left lung. Okay, in biology, the right side of our body is always the left, and left is always the right. Okay, it is always opposite. Because when we treat patients will always be opposite to us. Hence, we should not get confused. Hence, we write opposite to our own self. Now, it is said that the left lung is little smaller than the right lung. Why? Because it has to fit the heart in this thoracic cavity. Hence, to give some space to the heart, the left lung is designed less in size, or you can say smaller in size as compared to the right lung. Okay, and hence the right lung is divided into three lobes. It is divided into three parts, 1, 2 and 3, whereas the left lung is divided only in two parts. So remember this point also, very important point. Sometimes it is asked why the left lung is smaller than the right lung. So it is smaller to accommodate the heart and is divided only in two parts since it is small. Again, the last part of respiratory system, which is very important, that is diaphragm. So diaphragm is a dome-shaped structure, somewhat like this. Dome-shaped structure present at the end of your chest region, present at the end of your thoracic cavity. So if you touch at the end of your thoracic cavity, you will see a dome-shaped structure present. You can feel there is a dome-shaped structure. That is because of a structure present, or you can say a tissue present, which is a diaphragm, which is very important part, which helps in breathing. How? We will study in our next session. So this is all about the structure of our respiratory system. It consists of three things: airways, lungs and muscles. Airways will be further divided into nostrils, nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx, bronchi, bronchioles and air sacs. Air sacs is generally alveolar sacs. Finally, you have alveoli. You can see this is alveoli, a grape-like structure, and surrounding this you have a sac-like structure. These are the cartilaginous rings present. The ear is the exact exchange of gas which takes place, and then you have lungs, which are two lungs, and finally you have muscles, intercostal muscles, and you have diaphragm, which will play a very important role in respiratory system. If you have any small doubt, please write in the comment section. I will try to answer it to the best of my knowledge. Please do like my videos and subscribe my channel if you really are liking my videos. Please do subscribe. Thank you so much.